Oh, wow, you were. That's good job. I could use some clickbait, mate. Number 4, really be impressive to you. I don't fucking know. Right. Thanks, Pedro, for the beautiful music. If I know how to click on things. Look at this. Look at this. It's the 1st of April. April Fools. I pressed the wrong button. Look how handsome Cristiano Roberto looks. I would buy this fragrance. I hope it would smell like Jumbo Godio. But yeah, CIG, RSI, did I still ill? April Fools. I really like their mock-ups. I think it's fantastic. Quantum, one of the stars. Fragrance the stars, something like that. But it's just April Fools. I really hope they asked Chris to pose and go, oh, do a disappointed face, Chris. fantastic. You can buy some $27,000 perfumes. Oh, it's the sound broken. Okay. Hello? Is that better? Is that good? Is that good? Can you hear me? Yes? Yeah? It's alright. We've got Star Citizen loaded in the background as well. Don't you fucking worry. Don't we worry. We got gameplay we can do in a bit. But I want to answer some questions and chat about stuff first. So as I was saying, in a really choppy, ununderstandable, unintelligible way, it's April Fool's. Chris Roberts here, looks very handsome. I would buy Quantum. It's Triggerfish Day, but it is just an April Fool's. And I'm hoping they asked Chris Roberts here to act disappointed. They got a $27,000 collection for perfumes. So that was basically CIG's April Fool's for the day. It was new merchandise April Fool's. Just some silly stuff. You'll notice that companies now, they typically do really silly things for April Fools rather than trying to trick you into things. There were some cool ones I saw around the internet, but that was the Star Citizen one. I think the other Star Citizen one I saw, there was a Nintendo one which said they were going to bring all the games to the Nintendo Switch, including Star Citizen. There was one I saw that was they've made amazing progress on server meshing and they want it in this year.
Tricksy little
that was a good one. Thank you very much, Nasty Star Citizen. Appreciated for the resub. This week in things that are happening. 3rd of April, you're no longer going to be able to purchase $0 CCUs. And the 1st of May, all $0 CCUs, even if they're on your account, will be removed if you've yet to apply them. So apply your CCUs. If anyone would like to ask a question in brackets, I will do a little walk around ArcCorp maybe again, maybe fly around it a bit. I've realised that I'm really bad at, I'm really good at focusing on a single task when I do things. So when I'm streaming, if I'm doing a mission, I'm going to be pretty quiet. But we can go around, we can test out flight models, we can chat about stuff, we can have a look at the atmospheric flight, things like that, much more easily while I'm answering questions on stream. Anything interesting happening this week? Wednesday, we've got the Drake Q&A, which is cool. We won't see Around the Verse for another 3 weeks, which is annoying, but well, hopefully when they come back, we'll have some better content, maybe more content from the community team when it comes to videos. We're having a facial customization in RTV this week. Yeah, some cool stuff there. BritainCon as well as on the 27th of this month in Manchester. If you're around, check out BritainCon.uk. Anything interesting in the newsletters? Interesting here. Corsair still out. We'll have a look at the Corsair in a second again. I got the 890 Jumps Atrium. That's pretty cool. I mean, problem with the Origin ships is they need to be really minimalistic, but look really high quality, and that's really hard to do, I think. Thank you very much, Zelacon. Yeah, thanks. I don't know names. I can't do names. We know that there is going to be. When are they selling these actually? On the 12th of April, to concierge members, they are selling tickets to a VIP event in Frankfurt, Germany, where they're going to announce some sort of Aegis project. We're assuming it's an Aegis carrier. The actual event is on the 24th of August, but they're selling tickets for it on the 12th of April. I suspect they will sell out almost immediately. I don't know how many there's going to be tickets-wise, but it should be concierge only. So, yeah, Aegis capital ship probably in the works. Anything interesting? Oh, yeah, so we can talk about 3.5 very briefly. Well, we know that Faceware are still working with Star Citizen to produce a sensor. In fact, Faceware... In fact, this is on Faceware's website currently. In 2 hours and 45 minutes, they are announcing a new experience. So maybe it's something to do with the Faceware FOIP cameras. And it might not be. It could just be something they're doing as another project. But Faceware, they're making the best experience FOIP cameras for Star Citizen. We should know more about them soon. They're excited to share the technology with us all, but they just haven't got any dates yet. What else do we got? 3.5. 3.5 is out to everyone on the PTU currently. It could go to a live build any time. That literally, I believe that 3.5.0K is close to being a release candidate. I thought it was going to be a release candidate, but there are some annoying bugs with it. My ship occasionally randomly explodes when I go into coupled mode when I'm on planet's surface or a moon surface. The elevator in Area 18 sometimes has a soluble flaw, which I fall through. I wish they would stop changing key bindings, because what's the key binding to get out of your chair now? Of course, it's Y. You might have thought it was changed to U because it did, and in the next patch they changed it to Y. Why do they change it to Y? No one fucking knows. We've got the Great Corsair. That's still on sale until the 22nd of April, I think. It is looking cool. It is the ship I'm giving away this month as well. Have yet to purchase it yet, though. I will try and purchase it probably in the next couple of days. Get it into the end of the financial year. Makes sense. Yeah, it's a exploration similar to like a Constellation Aquila type ship, but it's Drake. It's covered in guns. It's cool and asymmetric. Let's see if we can actually go through some of the pictures here. Yeah, it is just covered in weapons. I'm interested to know how tanky it's going to be, or if it's just going to be you can precisely knock off certain systems in combat. With the new flight model, I think Drake both suffer and have some additional elements that they can sort of like lean on. Now, what I mean by that is that the new flight model is a bit, in my opinion, a bit dumbed down. It's pretty simple. It's a lot more simplistic. But there's auto gimbals as well now. So if you cycle through your gimbal modes with R, you can have fixed gimbals, you can have manual gimbals, you can have auto gimbals. Auto gimbals will literally try and aim at your target. Now, Drake ships, if you gimbal all their guns, they have so much firepower that if you concentrate on flying and using auto gimbals, you can bring a huge amount of damage to bear on a target. Another thing is that I feel that some ships, like the not the Hercules, what's it called? Hurricane. I think the Hurricane, because it's got a gunner in the big gun, its big main turret, it kind of suffers with those auto gimbals. Because if it had auto gimbals for it, that'd be amazing. You'd rip apart a target. Obviously, they need to potentially balance auto gimbals. They need to make it so that people manually aiming and being skillful can either have bigger weapons or will do better. I mean, they're going to have more angular range or whatever anyway. But I don't want combat so simple that auto gimbals are just always going to be used forever. Well, as long as there's skill and fun to the game, I don't really mind. But I like the precision of aiming manually. I want to see that, so that when you're aiming at people's individual systems, that maybe beats auto gimbals, because you can precisely shoot a system, whereas auto gimbals just sort of like shoots the main body of the target. And with the new sort of like damage and physicalized components model, then manual aiming would be a lot more important, if you see what I mean. Something like that. So auto gimbals, I don't want them just to break the game. We can talk about auto gimbals and look at them in some detail as well in a minute. I will come to questions in a second. I haven't actually gone through Chris Roberts' post on quantum drives yet. Obviously, he talked about it in RTV and just basically said that some quantum engines are inferior to others. Big ships should be able to jump further. They have larger operating range. Smaller ships, smaller fighters and stuff, they got shorter range. That's basically what he was saying. We've got some ships which are currently purchasable. They're basically MISC ships. They're the flyable ships from 3.5, focusing on the Reliant variants. And then we also have some various MISC ships, the Razors and the Freelancer variants. They're cool if you're into them. Sort of stuff that you'll be able to get in game anyway, eventually. Not in 3.5, because we'll see what ships are available to purchase in that later. Where is this? Boom. Yeah. Sorry, I've got quite a bad chest today. I do apologise. Fellow Mars, we will just start with this in case I get interrupted. Good to see things going well for you. Go find a tortoise on ArcCorp. Is it a turtle or is it a tortoise? Who knows? I'm sure there's been lots of threads about it being a tortoise. Or space turtle. I mean, are they turtles in space? Or are they something else? Who fucking knows? I don't. Thank you very much, Tresend, for the resub. I very much appreciated. 24 months. Oh, there's lots of German. Can we get Star Citizen on Switch? That was a good little April Fools by Nintendo. How do gravel vehicles work with elevators like in the Connie? You park them. They have a park mode. They just lock into place, and you can store them in there. Do we have any info about mission reward sharing? When will co-op gameplay be in? Latvanis. They've been talking about it and are working on it currently. I'm expecting to see more of the mission sharing sort of systems in 3.6. I believe that's their target currently for that. And that's the sort of stuff when we will see the group leader of a party having access to all the missions that all of his group members have, and then being able to share them as the main mission between the group. And assumedly that will allow you to share rewards. People have also suggested that because ArcCorp Area 18 has cash points everywhere, little UEC hole in the walls, that eventually we'll be able to trade money and send money to people and share and do org features and stuff like that on there. Maybe please have a Valkyrie. Well, you can get one in game. Go team, probably in 3.5, maybe 3.6. At 3.6, we're going to have ship rentals. Is the plan. So a lot of the ships, if not most of the ships, will be available for rental, I believe. Can you explain the melting thing and CCU stuff? I don't know if I need to do anything. Yeah, I can do that very briefly. Bring this up. Let me put this up here. Let me go down here and go to desktop. And then we'll go to pledge store. And then we'll go to shop upgrades. So basically, in the shop upgrades section, you used to be able to sort of like grab an upgrade and you could get $0 upgrade. So if I had a Hornet and a Freelancer, Buccaneer, and a Super, I could buy that upgrade for $0. I could have that in my there we go. That's okay. That's fucking not real information. This will be. I can see my screen. Can they now? Before I put my address in. Yeah, let's do that. It's secret. Don't dox yourself. Never dox yourself. Right. Now that we've purchased that, go to my hangar. Okay, so in the My Hangar section of your account on the RSO website, you will have any CCUs you bought. So on the 1st of May, all the $0 CCUs, this is a $0 one, will be deleted. On the 3rd of April, you won't be able to obtain any more $0 CCUs. So double check that you've sort of upgraded all the ships that you need to upgrade that are on your account. Because I just applied a load the other day. That's basically it. You literally need to go there and apply upgrade if you've got any upgrades that you've got. Because you might have bought sort of like some sort of weird upgrade system for, I don't know, when there have been concept ships and you bought upgrades that are cheaper. Now you can upgrade your character, abandoned merchantman, or vice versa for free or something. But they were $0 upgrades. They'll be deleted if you don't use them. Do you see what I mean? Hope you see what I mean. Not really well explained. I'm tired. I'm an idiot. Almost doxed myself as well. You know, as you do. I thought they said they would be live this weekend, any ETA on 3.5 live. Technically, they didn't say it was going to be live. So they actually, let me show you again. Oh. And then the announcement. Where's the announcement? Where's the announcement? Is the announcement here? Is it? The latest Star Citizen Alpha adds spoilings, blah, 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 blah. Today, Star Citizen announced it plans to release Star Citizen Alpha 3.5 this weekend to all backers. And they did that, but they just released the 3.5 PTU to all backers. They didn't say live here. I mean, they implied live, admittedly. But I said in my in a video that I did on, they said, I'm not sure if it's going to be the live build or the PTU build. Turns out it was the PTU build. But we could have a live build literally any hour now. Every PTU patch you see will probably be a release candidate based on whether it's got any major blockers in it. Thoughts on gimbal assist mode? Well, it makes the game very easy for me. I could probably read and do combat on another screen. Like, thank you very much, Sirius Scraper, for the resubby Prime. Very much appreciated. A, love your face. B, question, will we be able to avoid engine overheating in Quantum Jump by upgrading our quantum drive? Or are we stuck based on the size of the drive? Well, at the moment, you can obviously lower the power once you're actually in quantum, and that will prevent it from overheating. That's obviously not as intended as it's supposed to be. So, yeah, I suspect there's going to be different types of quantum drive, and they're going to give you different benefits, some of which will be cooler, some of which will be longer range, some will be more efficient, less efficient. Your coolers obviously are important as well, as is your power. So it's all going to be those components coming together. But yeah, there'll be ways of changing, even within the same size, how that quantum travel and quantum drive works. They've said ATV will be available every 3 weeks for the second quarter. What? No. Amir, it's going to be a 3-week break. 3-week break, isn't it? Yeah. At the moment, they're looking at having ATV have a 3-week break after each major patch release. That's what they've said. I do not agree with that. That is my opinion, though. I think that they need to be making more content, not less, especially in those times. Well, maybe not especially in those times, but just constantly. And ATV, them getting rid of calling all devs was quite upsetting to me. So I want more content, not less. But that's just me. I'm assuming it's a sentiment shared by a lot of people. But hey, mate. What do you know so far about the farming possession? When the land claims will be added? When will the server size increase? So they're working on some of the elements of getting server sizes increased at the moment. That's server-side object container streaming, for persistent stuff, a load of server optimizations, a lot of back-end stuff, and we could see server sizes increase this year. Land claims, we don't know. They did actually want them in last year, but they massively reprioritized everything, and they're trying to get Squadron 42 out the door for next year. So I would expect to see land claims next year, just the early implementation of them, not outposts building, but land claims and some of the gameplay with that. At farming profession, we don't know too much. We know that you're going to have biodomes on the Endeavour. They said they wanted to be able to grow plants near outposts and on planet surfaces, potentially change the topsoil there, but we don't really know how, why, how much, or any of the details for farming as a profession. How do graveler vehicles work with elevators, like in the Connie in the current build? Oh, I don't know. I've been mostly fucking around on ArcCorp Area 18 rather than and occasionally on Lyria, but I haven't actually tested specifically graveler vehicles on the Constellation. I'm not even sure if I've used a Constellation in the 3.5 patch. Yeah, just set your keybinds yourself each patch. That is true. It's just annoying when I'm doing tutorials, eh? Have you heard about the Retribution Dreadnought? Yeah, it's a Super Dreadnought. It's being built in Squadron 42 Episode 1. I'm assuming it's actually going to be flyable or seen in Squadron 42 Episode 2. And as soluble, it dissolved. The floor dissolved. Awesome. Why do you want a Valkyrie dropship? What do you mean, can you have it? May I have... No, I don't have one to give you. What's better, the 300i rework or the Avengers Titan? I am holding my opinion on that. At the moment, Avenger Titan still. I think it's a cheaper ship. It's got a load of guns. The 300i does look cool, admittedly. But I'm reserving my opinion until they have the customization stuff on the website with the rest of the 300 variants rework, because there's going to be some interesting customization options on the website coming soon. Are you happy with the new flight model, or is it lacking? It's lacking some areas at the moment. I am happy with it. I'm really happy with 3.5. I think that there's a lot of potential with the new flight model. It's lighter weight, as they said as well, and stuff like that, so it's better for optimization and performance and stuff. And it works. It doesn't feel like everything's jittering or exploding or anything. I can see... I understand combat. It's a lot simpler and a lot more tactical, but less reaction-based. Well, so less twitch response based, I suppose, is what I mean. Like, I have to think about where my ship's moving, and combat's a lot slower, so it allows for different gameplay. I'm not getting constantly outplayed by someone that's just able to turn on me constantly, like shoot me constantly at any angle. So I like it. Needs more work though. Combat needs more work. Stuff needs a lot of balance. Auto gimbals seem super OP at the moment, or at least super easy to use. As long as there's some downsides with that and a good skill ceiling with the other modes, then I'll probably be happy with it. They need to totally rebalance the heating system, in my opinion. Loads of stuff overheating randomly, or seemingly randomly, or just very often. Thrusters, though. Typically, I quite like thrusters overheating if you're using them with Afterburner or in atmosphere. I think that adds to the game. So, do you think that seeing as most players are not into PvP, that the auto gimbal system makes combat more accessible and will engage more people to buy Star Citizen? Potentially. We need to see... I don't really know how balanced it is for PvP at the moment. I haven't actually done much PvP in 3.5 yet, mainly because I wanted... They do lots of balance and lots of changes typically in PTU builds, so when it gets into live, it's much more interesting for me to get into PvP, or at least understand it to a degree. And the previous time I tried to get into PvP, it was the meta was put as many guns on your ship as you can, because there's a bug to put guns on your ship. So this should be a lot more stable when it comes to PvP, but there might be a lot of balance involved, and auto gimbals might just rock. It might be like, well, you just go for a really tanky or really agile body. It's either going to be super tank or super agile body, and then just sort of like pepper and hose the opponent before they can hose you. So that'll be interesting. I'll see how it balances. Is it fun? Is it terrible? Are people manually aiming, beating people at auto gimbling? Currently in the PTU, at least for females, I'm not sure about males, I can only see the actual face that I created when I put on the specific helmet. Other helmets give a different face. It's weird. Oh, I see what you mean. Just a bug. What do you think the first 5 star systems and star system will be? So, Stanton, Magnus, Pyro, is it the Nyx system? Or was it Spider? Nyx. And another one. Have I heard about the new drug lab, Paradise, whatever it is, on Yella? And one on Lyria as well. We're gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see how many new drag labs and how many new trade lanes are in the live build. So I was looking the other day. I found a well, I saw that there was another drug lab the other day. Paradise Falls? I think it's Paradise Falls. And I think it was Ultra Toxin that they were selling, and but they're going to change the trade routes so that you can only sell Widow in a couple of places, and they're going to be different from where they are at the moment. And Ultra Toxin is going to be the same, and there might be some other commodities as well. Are ship mods persistent and insured yet? Do you know, bro? Not yet. They're not, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware. Oh yeah, I'm always a few minutes behind. At least a few minutes behind. Can you get gimbals on turrets? No, not on turrets. No. So either a turret is already effectively gimbaled, like a remote turret, or it's a manned turret. Don't know if you've been asked, but now that it's been announced, are you getting Star Citizen for the Switch? Oh my god, such April Fool's bait. Yeah, Paradise Falls is on there, yeah. Sorry, I said yellow. Is it because I think, yeah, Thematics is on, yeah. I don't know what the current value of Paradise Falls drug run is. I haven't jumped in and done the meta and sort of like worked that stuff out. I will do that in a live build. There is no, by the time you've done something like that and tested it and got the numbers for it, they release another patch and changes it. What do you think CIG is preparing for us for the next roadmap update that is to come? Hopefully we'll get to see Q1 of 2020 for Star Citizen's Persistent Universe. Hopefully we'll see multi-crew features and some of that server-side stuff they promised. So like potentially this sort of like back-end, some of the back-end and start of server meshing, but like full persistence and server-side object container streaming. Do I think the Carrot will release prior to 3.8? I think it will release on 3.8. It's probably what they've got planned. Do you think the new flight model gives pilots more chance to escape combat? Only excellent pilots will be able to trap you in combat. So when it comes to that sort of stuff, we are looking at stuff when we haven't got the full gameplay mechanics in. What I mean by that is that there will be ways of preventing people quantum traveling and getting away. There will be, when physicalized components are they're a bit better, you will literally be able to target much more easily thrusters, power plants, and disable ships by rushing for a component and just blasting them in a group or whatever. So at the moment, the current flight model probably does allow certain ships to disengage combat more easily. But that is literally if you are in a faster ship. Because auto gimbals will allow you to, if you're in a same speed, similar speed ship, faster ship, you will be able to keep up with that ship and you will be able to blast them as they are getting away. Right, I will be back in 1 second. I need to pee. Jerry, you're in charge for like a minute. It'll be quick. Good chair. Who's a good chair? You are. No, you're not in charge. No Valkyrie for you. Thank you. I appreciate the love. You should do a video for Paradise Falls. Yeah, it can do, but again, I'll wait until the live build probably. Assume there's new tread routes there and it's worth doing. Do you think the new flight model gives pilots more chance to? We've talked about that. Has anyone made a list of shop inventories for ship components? There probably is one. I mean, you see what that sort of stuff in Reddit. I haven't made one, especially for 3.5 because it's not live yet. They will switch up the values and costs of stuff and move around where inventories are and stuff like that. Certainly not finalized until a live build, and even after that, I suppose actually it changes. Would you like to see a rework and improvement of the overall heat mechanics that makes coolers act like heat sinks and radiators versus magic heat erasers? Potentially. I think that coolers need to work better and more understandably. So you can make better choices in your loadouts. Yeah, I don't want them to be magic heat erasers, as you said. I do want them to be heat sinks and radiators, effectively. Live, when do I think? I mean, I think every PTU pack they put out is a release candidate, and it will be based on when there's no more major blockers there. Do you feel comforting? Do you feel comfortable answering a question about Brexit? If you do, I'll ask another question. Yeah, you can. It is AMA, effectively. I'll answer. I don't want stuff to get political, but I can give sort of like very neutral opinions, or just respect my understanding of things if I get them wrong or if you don't agree. I think everyone here is relatively mature. You want me to get a catheter? Okay, yeah. There was the next donation goal. The catheter so I can just stay at the PC. What are your thoughts on the AI improvements? Have you noticed any at all? They've been broken a lot of the time in the missions when I was playing through them in the Persistent Universe. The AI in Vandal Swarm are too easy now. I haven't really seen the improvements because they get blasted by my auto gimbals before they can do anything. Yeah, I like the idea of radiators actually acting, the coolers acting as radiators. I think that's a cool thing. Maybe they'll actually do it, heat sinks and radiators as a separate thing. I treat the chair very well, thank you very much. How dare you? When do you think they will add more solar systems to the Persistent Universe? I really enjoy your videos. Thank you very much, Patrick Bird. I think we could see a new system next year, like Pyro or Magnus or both. Did I have a good PP break? Yes, it was very enlightening. Do you think there are any plans, or should be any plans, for a system for intelligent life to be found in the system? The species may be in certain stages of tech development, ancient lost civilizations. I think any species and creatures they make will be hand-made and driven, all that sort of stuff. There might be procedural sort of modular pieces for that particular species, but it's always going to be procedurally assisted. The start of it's always going to be like the humans are, that they might make individual outfits for them. They might make faces that can merge together or whatever, blend and have lots of different various different looks to them, but they're all sort of like driven. They're not going to be procedurally made like in No Man's Sky or anything like that. They're all going to look very real and like they've been handcrafted. You see a lot of variance with that, but
I don't think we'll see procedurally generated stages of tech and ancient lost civilizations and stuff like that. However, they might go, well, this is in lore, there's a race like an ancient lost civilization that you can find over here or whatever, and there's here's all this stuff and lore about them, and oh, you found something, a race like the Borg or whatever. They can add more stuff in as the game goes along and new systems to explore and new things like that, but don't expect it to be sort of like procedurally generated. Oh, I found a new race that's entirely procedurally generated that the devs didn't even know was going to be in there. Will all the CCUs go? No, only $0 CCUs. So CCUs that are literally worth $0. How do you pee in your spacesuit? They're like Fremen suits in June. Actually, you need to drink that water. You need to drink that PP. Under the launch game button, my version still says 3.2 or something. Yeah, one of my... on Shadow, I noticed when I was loaded it up earlier, it said 3.35 on my launcher. How it... He knows. It's just a bug. I mean, it still gives you the real version. What do you think of the future of gunships will be in small-scale combat? It depends on the gunship. It depends on what loadout and armament it's got. It depends on the hull. It depends on loads of different things. You can probably load them out to be really effective against certain fighters. They might really suffer against bombers and torpedoes, though. They might be great little stations for to be supported by fighters. If you've got a gunship and fighters fighting just a wing of fighters, you might just wreck them. Why disable a fighter's components when the odds are, when you're done shooting the component? Sorry, when you are done shooting the component you are targeting would be the only thing left. Why disable a fighter's components when the odds are, when you are done shooting the component you are targeting? I can't. My brain cannot understand that question. But it depends on what sort of armament and what sort of fighter they're in. If they're in a heavy fighter and you're in a light fighter, you might just have to outmaneuver them and try and sort of like damage a couple of their thrusters so that you can just constantly stay on their tail, and they're a lot more helpless. With a new system like heat and other future systems affecting quantum travel distance, let me actually chuck on another video in the background, almost at the end of some of the questions, and we'll have a look at some gameplay of little chatsy poos. Another one of these. Boom. There you go. So these are the Star Citizen screensavers, which I'm using in the background today. Boom. Yes, you can blow open doors still. I believe. But I haven't actually checked in 3.5. I believe you can still blow open doors. Or you're supposed to be able to blow open doors. With new systems like heat and other future systems affecting quantum travel distance, traveling depending on... Oh my god, I can't read. Sorry, I do apologise. With new systems like heat and the other future systems affecting quantum travel distance, traveling depending on ship size, do you feel that fleets of different ships will have difficulty traveling together? Depends on the makeup. They might do it. They might work out a way so that ships all come out of quantum together somehow. But I suspect that's one of the reasons people want to use carrier ships as well, so they can travel more easily together. It's an interesting one. There might be a system in the future where they go, do you want to come out quantum travel together? Yes. It will slow everyone down to the slowest. Do you think component-based damage will be as impactful as the new flight model? Yeah, definitely. I mean, to combat it is. It's super important to the game. I think that's when you can see the difference probably between auto gimbals and not, because you're not going to be targeting individual components on ships as easily. How do you feel about ArcCorp from space? I'm fairly disappointed. Looks like a reflected texture. It was growing on me the other day. It doesn't look as good as the texture they used in, was it 2017? But it is real, at least. Needs improvements. I suspect we'll actually see a bit more improvement for the live build. Are there any plans for fleet formations that would be useful in combat convoys or transport routes and the like? So I know the AI are going to be able to fly in formation, and other than that, players will probably form their own fleet formations to be effective in combat. I would suspect that if you're assaulting a large enemy fleet, they will form up in some way or have AI that makes them form up. Do you think there will be any plans or should be any plans for... sorry, we talked about that. Did you buy the Star Citizen fragrance? I tried King Kongur. I would have bought it if it was at all possible. Is it true that Theresa May is going to step down because Brexit has not gone to plan, and is Brexit going to be cancelled? We don't know yet. We don't know. The problem is whatever Theresa May says seems to not come true. And Brexit, it could turn out that we don't leave, or that we do leave, or that we leave with a shit deal, or we leave with no deal. Who knows? We don't know yet. In the House of Commons, they're still arguing over what an indicative vote means, and they shouldn't be allowed to bring back the same indicative vote, even though that's the part of the process that they sort of like all agreed on, because Burko, that Speaker of the House, had agreed previously, or had ruled previously, that no motions can be brought back that are the same, because that's procedurally correct. But in the case of the indicative votes, he went, no, that's fine. And they went, oh, hypocrisy. There's a lot of infighting at the moment, which is annoying because, you know, it's a part of the democratic process I don't like. The elected representatives sort of like fighting for career over representation of their constituents. That's how I feel. I'm very much looking forward to Borderlands 3. I really love the look of the Corsair. I love it asymmetrical. I think it looks amazing. I'm very new to the Star Citizen community. I was wondering if you can purchase ships in-game or not. Yes, you can purchase them in-game. There might be a bit of a change around for 3.5. You can purchase them in Teacher's Ship Shop on Levski and in Hurston from the new deal. And there might be there might be a place on ArcCorp, either in 3.5 or the future as well. But some of the ships might change around as well, so we'll have to wait and see exactly what you can get there. They do want to put ship rentals in 3.6 though. The end of June. When more systems management mechanics are introduced, do you think Gimbal assist will come into its own, flying a single-seater? Yeah, I think it's important that we have physicalized components, targeting of components, and then management of components before we can sort of like judge auto gimbals. Because at the moment, when ships have health pools like they do at the moment, it's very powerful. Yeah, we're likely to get the Corsair. It's likely to stay asymmetrical. Instead of auto finals, can I have my co-pilot in my constellation be a weapons officer and aim? The gimbals you're trying to say? Gimbals? And aim gimbals, unlock and fire missiles. I believe that is the eventual intention, yes. At the moment, I believe missiles are locked to the pilot, but I believe eventually you'll be able to give permission for another pilot, the co-pilot, to fire and lock missiles. I believe. Yes, the current 3.5.0 K patch is actually pretty good. Thank you very much for leaving me in charge. Appreciate it. Hi, board. So quantum travel drops out every 10 seconds on my ship. I thought it was because of overheating. However, check the heat menu and there's no signs of overheating. Is this some sort of bug? There are some bugs in the PTU, yes. So what I can recommend is make sure you don't have cruise mode on. That's a big one. Fly out a little further distance from where you are if you keep on getting pulled out. Fly out a little bit in a slightly different direction, and then quantum travel again. And then once you're quantum traveling, reduce the power of your quantum drive to very low, like really low, like 5%, and see if it pulls you out still. So I was finding that there was a lot of, in older servers, there's a lot of people being quantum interdicted. And if you actually go through the quantum interdiction bubble, you get pulled out even by lawful people. So I was getting pulled out by security forces that were trying to fight other people earlier. At least I think that was what's happening, because I got pulled out 3 times in a row, and I flew out a little way, so I wasn't in a straight line, and then I didn't get interdicted again. How long before you think all CCUs go away? I don't know about all CCUs. All we know at the moment is that $0 CCUs are being removed. You're not going to be able to buy them from April the 3rd onwards, and on the 1st of May, all $0 CCUs are being removed. That haven't been applied. Obviously, if you applied them, it's fine. I think they said that before beta, they wanted people to have all CCUs applied. For the rest of them, they'll give us fair warning. When will ArcCorp have a lower level, lower class cities like Final Fantasy VII, or you mean like some underground trash cities? I think you'll probably see them in certain places, maybe. They need to build assets and stuff for that sort of thing. I'd like to see a little Necromunda underhive. But I posted a discussion on Spectrum about how the Reliant Tanner doesn't feel like a light fighter. It's more of a long-range fighter. What's your opinion on this? Haven't used the Tanner enough to give an opinion on it, Shadow. I will play with it a bit more. I've been using the 300 IO load. Any update on the server blades? Nope. Not really. We know that server blades are going to be used for, one of the things they're going to be used for is putting AI modules in turrets and automating those turrets. But we don't know what other uses they might have, and we're not sure exactly how they're going to work. Do you find yourself in a deep dark cave? Would you charge in with your flashlight and climbing gear, or stay safely outside and listen to your friends on the radio as they scream for their lives as they get eaten? What's the reward for me going in there? Is it just to rescue my friends? Is there potentially big loots inside? And what's the risk of my death? If I die, is there something bad that happens? If there's no risk of death, then obviously I run in. Even if I die, I don't lose anything. If there's mortality involved, that might be a slightly different story. If there's dank loot, then I'm definitely going in. Why does ArcCorp have so much fog? They have been fixing that, Randy. That is a bug or mistake that ArcCorp has fog. Thoughts and feelings on the new Banu guns? I thought they were a bit OP from what I saw at the moment. I need to play with them more once they're fully balanced. I haven't actually used them on auto gimbals. I'll give that a go. Does Cloud Imperium put too much fog in Star Citizen, in your opinion? In some areas, yeah, definitely. But like on Lyria, I really like the fog there. It makes sense for it. I don't want fog everywhere just to occlude stuff. Do you think the leadership structure should be a priority for cruise ship operations? For example, the captain being able to set objectives for the whole party. Sort of. I'd like a ping system like in Apex Legends in Star Citizen for my party. I actually want that in all games. I might even try and push for that when I talk to CIG people. But they need a permission system allowing different people in your party permissions to use your ships and that sort of stuff. And then they need the mission sharing system enabling the captain to literally go, this is our mission, shared between everyone. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to multiplayer gameplay, yeah, they should be prioritizing a lot of that stuff. In my estimation, when will 3.5 drop for live? It could be any time. I suspect we'll see another PTU build. If that PTU build is solid, then that will be the release candidate and go live. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose and I feel quite ill. Part 2 of my previous question on the Reliant Tanner, it says that the Reliant uses Xiantech, which is probably the engine design. Do you think the engines will rotate like the Cutlass rework? No. It's just gonna be sort of like it's gonna be a high-tech, quite maneuverable ship when it's done. Enemy alien robotic AI is very common. Enemy robotic AIs is a very common sci-fi theme. Have we seen anything from CIG on that style of alien? No, we have not. Do you think it's something we might see in the future? Yes, I do think it's something we might see in the future. Any update on ship armor? Once they've got physicalized components, armor will eventually be a physicalized component, I believe. How do you obtain giveaway ships like the Carrack, which is only buyable as an expensive package? What do you mean? They do sales every so often. And typically, I know people like Nubifire and people who have loads of them. You could also get them from if I was desperate for something, I'd get it from the grey market if I had to. But typically, ships are either given away or sponsored from an organisation, or I grab them from the website during sales, or grey market potentially, or Noob. That's why I don't have the same ship every month. It always changes because that's what I have available. Yeah, it was a April Fool's vid from IGN. How are you, friendo? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm okay. I feel a bit rough today. My dad's going through chemo at the moment. He's actually not been suffering too bad from it. He's got a bit of like a migraine and feels a bit sorry for himself today, but I think that's expected. Star Citizen have ferries like in Seattle. I've never been to Seattle. They did want water. They are working on buoyancy and wave simulation, and they have previously said, yeah, they're probably going to have boats. So probably on some of the planets or something, there may be a ferry or a ship to move you around, like a water ship. Will the Orion system be fleshed out for Squadron 42 and subsequently added to the persistent universe, or kept separate from the PU? It will be added to the persistent universe. It might be slightly changed though. Is 3.5 actually live, or is this an April Fouls? I feel that it's probably an April Fool's. Star Citizen bought by EA. That's probably an April Fool's as well. An April Fool's, isn't it? I just checked on Reddit. I couldn't see anything. Based on this year's hopeful progress towards ship and agent AI, when do you think we'll start seeing ship-assisted AI, computer modules, or full AI agents we could hire? NPC crews after Squadron 42's release, a little while after that, because they need to get all the AI in and then make them work multiplayer and then make them hireable. You could see computer AI modules before that, though, potentially. Can I pledge my undying love for you? Yes, of course you can, Doom Squirrel. It's expected at this point, actually. The ship shopper is called Astro Armada at ArcCorp. Yes, indeed. There's only a Hawk on display there at the moment, yeah. There'd probably be a terminal we can purchase ships from, I'm thinking. Now, let me load up some Star Citizen poos. I'll look through these questions. Um, 2.5 is kind of broken. I can't buy armor. You should be able to buy it in some places. I mean, some of the shops inventories aren't set up, but the maybe glass is broken occasionally. It takes a long time to load. How many times have you been murdered by your ladder? Not at all in 3.5 yet, but I've been very cautious. Has the release of the Reliant variants changed your mind on the ship? Not yet. It's still... I don't hate it as much anymore. I can't say really which one's my favourite at the moment because 2 of them don't have functionality yet. The Sen
Tricksy
and
little
the
hobbitses.
Mako.
Yo, you beautiful, white, oblong spheroid.
Thanks, Staff M3. I appreciate the resubscribe. Thanks. I'm a beautiful spheroid. What my mum always tells me. Right, I have a little lie down in my bed. Let's try and get to the... Press Y. Get out of bed. How much cargo will the 325A carry compared to the 300 series? Don't know yet. Do you find the side turrets on the Corsair flawed? Don't know until it's built out. It might work really well. It might be absolutely ridiculous. A bit stupid. Will that upload filter recently voted for the EU affect streamers in some way? What do you think? So it depends on how they implement it. Each of the EU member states have to implement their law in their own way. It probably will affect certain things. Might not affect streamers as much. There might be certain things because it's Article 11 and Article 17, which is actually Article 13. They renamed it. And basically, one is their link tax, which it just basically means that social media platforms and other people that link to stuff, if there's a little brief description showing what the link links to, like, and says a description of that link, that's like a brief of like a snippet from the article, then you owe them a tax. They can easily deal with that by just not having that preview done. That's as simple as that. Article 13 is a little bit more complicated because it makes the social media platforms sort of responsible for pre-filtering out any potentially copyrighted material. And that is really hard to do because there's so much stuff that could be potentially copyrighted. So do they have a big database that then goes through everything? What about if you're using something with fair use? How does the system identify that? And previously we've seen automated systems can be trash. So that's the worry there. So yeah, it might affect streamers. It might affect YouTubers. It could be terrible or it could be not so bad. Hopefully it will be not so bad. Would you prefer the Avenger Titan or 300i reworked? I'm still reserving my judgment on that. At the moment, the Avenger Titan still. Are you going to other community members, YouTubers and Twitch streamers on your new podcast? I will be, yes. I'm still finalising the details of exactly what I want to do with it. But yes, I will be grabbing org leaders, random people in the community, streamers, YouTubers, potentially CIG devs. How long until we get the next mining update, like the Orion and all that?
Tricksy little hobbitses.
You'll see mining updates. Oh my fuck. Stuff M3, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why have you done this? I'm not even sure if those people are real.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Oh my god. Stuff M3 has just gifted subs to everyone. You're mad. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope they appreciate it as well, because now they're part of the Cool Kids Club. That's like alliteration, but some of those with K's and C's.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Not so much. Oh my god. You are a tricksy little hobbits. Why? Why not just give me the money directly? Thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate that. I've not really ever gone for a
tricksy little hobbitses.
You're going to hear that a lot. Tricksy little hobbitses indeed. I've never really gone for a big sub push. Like, I've got a grin on my face now because you're giving me money. You madman, Stuff M3.
Tricksy
I love you.
little hobbitses.
10 eggs indeed. For a lucky few. Did you randomly? I don't know what you've done or how you've done it.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Did 3.5 make the Terrapin worth $220? Nope. Nope. Not at the moment anyway. Right. Let's get out of fucking bed. Let's walk somewhere.
Tricksy little
hobbitses. And we can answer some more of these. Oh my god. They say tricksy little hobbits is a lot. You are a real boy, Treasure Knight. Good job. Why is fog on planets like yellow?
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Still like flowing paper water, not very realistic. Any plans to fix it? I mean, yeah, they are working constantly on fog and the cloud tech and the precision generation of those planets and moons.
Tricksy little
I didn't mind
hobbitses.
on Lyria, the fog. I think it actually quite suits the planet. But you're talking about Yella. there have been problems. There's seams and loading issues as well, and lighting problems. It is the
Tricksy
PTU.
little hobbitses.
Oh my god, is it going to just say that forever? I'm sure that's been more than 10 times. Have you broken my stream of 3? Now, what do you think about them nerfing the Starfire, as in no longer farms quantum fuel, from Chris Roberts' post yesterday? Well, I'm going to wait and see exactly what they've got in mind for fuel mining and that sort of stuff when they implement the mechanics. I've got a Starfarer. I want it to be an effective mining ship, as long as it makes money, and as long as it adds to the economy in the game, I'm going to be happy. I haven't gone through that post fully yet. I'm going to be planning to do it as one of the videos I do tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'd like to get Twitch Pacheco's mission up. Maybe I've got it now. If I've got it now, I might consider doing it. No, I do not have it. We're going chill and chat. Maybe go ride the train. Yeah, I need to go through that, and I want to do Twitch's mission as well tomorrow. But yeah, as long as the ship makes money and adds to the economy in the game, and is effectively a mining ship, but for gas and liquids, or liquids, you know what I mean? Then I'll be happy. The Xi'an language has been fleshed out to some extent. What has been done with the Banu? Has anyone heard about it yet? I know they've done some work on it. I'm not sure to what extent though. It's certainly not as fleshed out as the Banu language is. I believe there's a dev that worked on the Xi'an language, or fan potentially, that's going to be at BritisonCon, that's very well versed in it and is going to show you how to like do calligraphy and stuff like that there. Or something like that. Citation needed. I saw that there was something to do with a Xi'an workshop. How big is the 3.5 PTU update? I think it's... If you hadn't downloaded it before, I think it's about 35 gigs. Oh my god, hello. Are these bright people? Get involved. You're like Power Rangers! Oh, fuck. That's amazing. Oh. I'm happy with my Power Ranger bros. I'm just gonna sort of like ride on the train a bit. Not even a train. Actually, let's do.
Tram now leaving the station. Stand clear of the doors. Stand clear. Doors are now closing.
There we go. Some interesting views. Trigger fish! Woo! Not everything from me is just a joke. I've been talking some harsh truths. What would you personally most like to see from a new concept sale? What's your dream ship or vehicle? I don't know. I'd like to see a Drake Corvette. I genuinely would. I'd like to see an Anvor or an Aegis drone ship. Probably again a Corvette. I'd like to see battleships and cruisers. I'd like to start to see more ground vehicles. So like proper APCs and military vehicles on the ground. Salvage vehicles for the ground. Mining vehicles for the ground. There's a lot of stuff that I'd quite like to see in game. Anything on coloured smoke grenades for dismounted ops, marking extraction points? There was a flare gun that they were going to put in. I'm assuming we'll see flare guns or coloured smoke potentially. But I would like them to put the ping system that they've got in Apex in. Simple as that. That system is superb. It's so simple. We know clicking on something, pointing at it, goes, there it is, over there. I'm pointing over here. Go here. Really simple, nice clicky system. Shares it between your squad mates. Did you see the info on harvestable entities spawning, mining quantum matter, not just rocks? I read about it on Reddit, but I do not know the precise details of that. I will look at it for tomorrow. Feel free to link it to me, Eagle 6 Airsoft, as well. Otherwise, I'll find it on Reddit if not. Why don't they have a roadmap past Q4? Well, there's the next big roadmap update is next week. Obviously, for Squadron 42, they've got it up until the second quarter of next year. But hopefully we'll see Q1 of next year with next week's update for the Persistent Universe. Have you tried getting the Reclaimer off planet with the new flight model? No, I have not. I don't see the need to land on the planet with the new Reclaimer, with the Reclaimer and the new flight model. But I've not tried. I will. Is there a ship that is sort of a race truck to transport your racers around and offer some sort of living areas? I believe that was one of the things that the Genesis Starliner was supposed to do. Potentially, we could do that in the 890 Jump as well. Any of the ships that have got a large enough sort of bay, so you might be able to do that for the Polaris as well, things like that. How do you feel about quantum fuel no longer being able to be gathered from the Starfarer? I haven't read that. I haven't read that that post fully yet. But as long as the Starfarers allow me to generate money, they're effectively mining gas, mining liquids. I'm okay with that as long as they add to the economy of the game and they allow me to make money in game. So also stuff like that's not set in stone. Whatever. We'll see how the actual mechanics get sort of like built out. But I will look at it tomorrow properly and do a video on it. Randy, I can't even. The terrible thing is I can't even mention that person's name for fear of demonetization. Isn't that horrible that you have to people effectively get erased? But as I said, I won't get political here. Wait, we're cool. You're cool. Love you, M3. Mwah. Now that you've chucked a load of money at me, I mean, you are high up on the list. So do we need to enter the atmosphere at special angles in 3.5 to avoid bouncing off? No. You can dive straight in still. The atmosphere where you can start quantum traveling from is much closer to the surface now as well. So you don't have to travel so far
Tricksy
to
little
get out of an
hobbitses.
atmosphere, basically.
Something finger guns. Pew pew.
Pew, pew, pew! Thank you very much, JP Sandman. I can do fucking finger guns all day long, mate. Any news for outposts? No. No new news for outposts and building them. Yeah, that sub bomb was insane. Thank you so much. Bored Wallet appreciates your sub gifts. That is true. So yeah, there are subs on Twitches and on the YouTubes. There's a little join button under the YouTube videos. The YouTube video join button gives you the benefits of effectively being a member on the YouTube channel as well as whether we're live streaming or not. I heard from the other streamers that you sometimes dip your balls in peanut butter and let your landlady's dog lick them. Is that true? Just curious about your personal stuff. Effectively, that would be my mum and my father being my landlady and oh dear. I don't have a dog. But it does, I mean, no smoke without fire, right? Must be true if some of the other streamers have said it, right? Oh no, now I've got to question myself. Need some cave trolls to come along and make us a bit of Hobbits' jelly. Any idea if the Carrack will fit anything bigger than a snub? Oh my god, I'm the worst at focusing on anything. That's if we can actually do something in game. Why doesn't this update properly? There's almost certainly going to be some bugs with CitizenCon 2019. Almost certainly. But Hopefully it's in the UK. Hopefully it's going to be pretty cool. And hopefully it will be the best citizen con they've got yet. How many different missions do mission givers offer? I don't actually know. As of 3.5, once it goes live, I'll try and work it out. Has anyone else been having issues with bounty hunter missions? I've actually only been doing missions around the ArcCorp area recently. Why do you think John Cruise said the Corsair wouldn't fit on the Kraken landing pads? It probably won't. If John Cruise said it won't, but it might once they've fully built it out. And it might be that they're planning sort of like medium to large pads for the Kraken. It should. I mean, I would have thought it would have fitted on the Kraken as well with it when it's folded up. Oh, I haven't got control of my mouse. I'm the worst streamer. EU. Well, soon not to be in the EU. Or maybe we are. Who knows? Alright, let's launch that again. Do you feel that CIG is based on switching people with the concept sales by saying designed to collect and refine quantum fuel in flight, and then 5 years later saying it won't be able to do quantum fuel anymore? I will read that article later and have a look and give you my honest opinion on it. But as long as it's still doing its intended role, which is making money from mining gas and adding to the economy from mining gas, then that's fine with me. I think it's fine with me. I have to see, like, does it not have the ability to refuel people anymore? At all? Like, do you think there will be more NPCs in the streets of Area 18 in the coming live release? So they actually removed them, a load of them in the last couple of patches to test, to see if it was one of the reasons they were getting poor performance. So they'll probably try and put some more in. That there was a really poor performance in the early stages of the PTU, and that was because of the amount of entities there, the amount of NPCs there, because there were so many things that were like pick upable. And because they haven't got server-side object container streaming, that means that the whole server is being simulated at once. So there's billions and billions and billions and billions of, oh, not billions, lots of entities everywhere. And what I mean by that is that, like, all these things are individual. I can carry and pick up. They're all being simulated in all the hubs, which is madness. A little juice bottle. Just thought you should know you're live. Thanks. Oh my god, Doomscroll has just chucked $100 at me and just said 100. Thank you very much, Doomscroll. That's a lot of money. Do you want me to say anything? Like, do you want me to endorse anything for you? Like, I endorse Doomscroll. He's a stand-up guy. I think you should trust him in Star Citizen and let him join in any of your orgs. Like that? Do you want something like that? This is the first stream I've had, I think, where I've not been fully up to date on everything. That's probably a little bit arrogant, but you know what I mean? Like, the quantum post, I've got it up, but I haven't fully read it. And the harvestable nodes and stuff, I haven't read about either. I've got it up to do a video on. But it's just 3.5 has so absorbed my life. The performance here is so much better than it was, but that's because they have reduced the amount of entities, they've reduced the amount of NPCs walking around. NPCs are a lot less derpy than they were before. Kiosk vendors, that's like, they chill out at their kiosks now. Oh, a little bit jittery still. I will donate $100 if you endorse the recreational huffing of aerosol paint. I will not. Because number one, people might not know it's a joke. Number two, that will be clipped and taken out of context the rest of my life. Although I do want your money, Froggle, PhD. I think it was not in my best interests to do it. In the same way, I won't do autistic screeches for the Matadors when they ask me and offer me $1,000. Things like that. Those are just things that I do not really want to do. When will garbage can be implemented? When will garbage can be implemented? Is Star Citizen worth it? So Star Citizen is not a sit down and play game yet. I mean, at $45 for a starter pack, it's great. It's an amazing project. You can have your say on the development of the game. You can get involved with that. You can help bug find. The community is amazing. If you get involved with an org, then you can basically sit down and play it every evening and do some silly stuff with a load of people. However, it is not polished by any means. It's buggy. There are problems with it. There's no progression in its gameplay really at the moment. It's reset every 3 months, and there's only a fraction of the game's gameplay and mechanics in it at the moment. So if you're interested in getting involved with the project and you like that idea, then yeah, it's great. But if you do not like that idea and you want a polished game that is sit down and play and gives you progression, then look at something like Elite Dangerous or No Man's Sky or any other game that is released. That'll be a lot more user-friendly and actually have meat to it. Star Citizen is very much sort of like a holiday destination at the moment, where it's amazing to visit and it's quite fun and there's a lot to do, but after a while you've done everything and it's not somewhere you can live yet. That's what I'm trying. I don't know what my analogy is. Fuck you. How about that? If CIG are going to have TV or radio stations and channels in game, will you have your own program in the verse? Yes. I would plan to. Do you think CIG are missing a trick by not having Victoria's Secret store in game? Oh wow. Asking for a friend. Oh, it's April Fool's Day. You can get away with endorsing everything. That is true. And yet, I still feel everything is persistent, and therefore, when you're done with a juice packet, shouldn't you throw it in the trash? Yeah, so with their persistence, when they have full persistence, stuff is still going to degrade and stuff is still going to have an importance level before it despawns. Some stuff will be incredibly important, but if I chuck this juice on the ground, it falls through the planet. Oh, it isn't. But that would maybe despawn after 12 hours or something. Do you see what I mean? Any information when they'll send out 3.5 live? No. So the current PTU builds they'll be putting out are probably release candidates, each of them. As long as there's no blockers in them, they'll go to a live build. So you could have 3.5 live today. Do you think Microtech is even worth being implemented in-game until server meshing is in place? Yeah, I mean, it could work without server meshing. They need server-side object container streaming probably for it. Really, they needed that for Hurston and ArcCorp. But we've sort of like got something bodged together. Less NPCs than they wanted, though. What ships are available to buy from Astro Armada? Well, none at the moment. But we can go have a look there. Have I gone the wrong way? Yeah, so they're planning to integrate Vulkan. Vulkan's important for them to be able to get VR in the game. VR's still a thing. They're going to a phase batch model when they have Vulkan in there, which just is basically Star Citizen will be a lot more optimized and efficient, and it's important for the game. They want Vulkan in. I'm not sure when we're going to get it though. Any more Scotchbox appearances, even if they might have been completely random? It was literally completely random. I was just playing some VR, Star Trekky Bridge Commander, whatever the fuck it's called, and I was supposed to be playing with Sin and DC and Kit, but it broke, and
I got disconnected from them, and I was in a game with some randoms. I was like, well, I'll stay here because I don't want to just disconnect. That's rude. And it was Squadron, and we had some good fun. I'd probably contact him. The Anvil Hawk is 1.1 million. Probably a little over expensive, in my opinion. I don't know, actually. I haven't tried it with the new gimbals. I'm expecting there either be another level here, not the band, or a console to purchase things. That's the only ship that's in here at the moment. But expect a terminal to purchase ships, maybe, or something like that.
New inventory in. Definitely.
Friendly shopkeeper. Are you the friendly shopkeeper?
Welcome back.
Yes, you are. Oh. Actually, that's a good point. You can go see, not Recco Pataglia. Twitch Pacheco. Any thoughts on the Banu Tier 1 and 3 size guns? The Singed Tachyon guns. They look very high damage. I haven't had a chance to actually test them with the gimbaled PPUs, but I will. Are you going to be a reporter in game? If the gameplay allows for it, yes, but I'm also going to be an economist and entrepreneur. I'm going to be doing anything that's industry-based, building bases, mining, all that sort of stuff. That's probably the sort of stuff I want to be doing. When do you think we'll have object container streaming server-side in-game? I think that they will update the roadmap to show it next week. So the update will be next week. They won't show it full next week. You know what I mean? So, I think we can see it this year, and I think we can see it for 3.7 or 3.8. Oh, people are raiding me. There's lots of bottoms. There's lots of raids. I still don't know who this is. Is it Ubernerd? It's Ubernerd. Thank you. Got a couple. Your emotes. Thank you. It could be just someone with those emotes. Thank you very much for the raid, Ubernerd. Love your face. Mwah. Look at these guys. Or girls. Do you want a girl here? No,
You again.
you're more interested in me. No.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Yes. Okay, not like this was important.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, random people. No, you go talk to her. No. Stop glitching into me at really juttery pace. Flashing lights warning. What? No, what? Why are you here? What do you want from me? Shoo. Okay, good.
You again.
That's why they call it Twitch.
Let me
They,
see.
they fucked their face up and all the NPCs up in this patch.
No. Nothing here for you today.
Poor Twitch. You'll be okay.
Incinerators.
I'm not into incinerators. I got another 100. What? Summer Yeti donated $100 as well through Super. No, I didn't realise. I thought it was the same 100. Oh, Summer Yeti. I'm so... He just chucked loads of money at me and I ignored it. The worst. I'm so like super low effort. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if I'm cut out for streaming. That's why I'm looking forward to Zin working for me. Because she can sort of like tell me what I'm supposed to be doing at any given time. I'm very good at supporting people on stream, rather than sort of running my... Is there a ghost here? I'm good at focusing on a single task as well. I'm sorry, it's a low energy stream. That's mine. It's all mine.
In the merch shop, there is a challenge coin keyring. It's supposed to be shipping in February 20th. When do those of us foolish enough to pay $25 get for a keyring get it? I don't know, but I've also paid that $25 to get a keyring. I don't know. It might be worth tweeting them. I was watching the House of Commons Twitch today, and it's depressing. Should I be hopeful tomorrow? No, not really. In my opinion, at the moment, there's a lot of people that are doing career over representing of constituents. That's just my personal opinion on it. And the indicative votes are just sort of like... There's so much argument and everyone at each other's throats at the moment. It's a shame. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the ridiculous amount of money. Thank you very much, Citizen Star Citizen 13, for subscribing on Prime. Thank you so much for this huge raid, Uber Nerd. I didn't realise it would be so big. That's what she said. Right. Go to let's have a fly around. What time is it where I am? I don't know. Probably like 11 o'clock or something. Something like that. I'd like to be able to continue to visit the UK without a visa, thanks. I'd like that as well. But hopefully we'll get sensible stuff in place for Brexit. Hopefully, maybe. Who knows? I don't. What are you hoping and thinking we might see in the next roadmap update? Horizon? Any specific gameplay mechanics? We could see Horizon. But if we did, it would be like first quarter of next year, in my opinion. I suspect we'll see server-side object container streaming in there, potentially full persistence, multiplayer and multi-crew gameplay mechanics, permission systems, org systems, things like that. Mate, the amount of money people have chucked at me in this stream so far, that will make me blush. 10:30, thank you. 11:30, oh, I don't know. I don't know what time it is anywhere. I don't know what's going on. The least prepared I've ever been. Sort of like when... Typically I'd be playing Apex Legends or Titanfall 2 or something in the evening with some of my mates, but everyone's fucking super tired. Sin and DC are moving house at the moment. Kit's doing roller derby today. Should new players to Star Citizen have a safe space? It depends on what you mean by that. I think there should be a area that they are encouraged to go to learn the game. That's probably quite a good idea. And that's why I want to see some systems be more starter systems or safer systems in the future. The 300 series to go up in price and the customization page goes live? Probably not, but I do expect it to have a lot of options that will effectively raise its price if you went for them. Oh, it's April Fools. The donations at April Fools. That would upset me so much. Oh. 7 times trying to get out of Lawville, always disconnected or bugged. Not with my other character. My other character's in Lawville, I think, still. What do you want? Look at him. Well sassy. Can I drink water, please? Aaron drinks water? Why? It's not like a fetish or something, is it? It's not like ASMR. Get when you drink water, cluck, cluck, motherfucker. Nothing like that, is it? Because I'd still do it if it was. I haven't got water nearby. What? You should drink. What is going on? Why is your name in that? Why have you asked me that? What have we got? What hasn't blown up?
Servicing the greater Area 18 metropolitan area. We hope you have safe travels
It's got its guns on. Division 2 is actually pretty good. I've seen the reviews on it. I was quite happy with it. I would like to declare Uber Nerd, Summer Yeti, and Doom Squirrel kings. Oh no, and Stuff M3 kings of today's stream. You are kings because you have sent me so much money and people and love. And that's how you equate love. It's based on the monetary value of the things they give you, which is why people like presents. That's BoredGamer's take on love. Yeah, I am single as well. That's not a please. Actually, fuck it. Yeah, give me some money, and I will love you.
For the latest travel information, be sure to check the departure and arrival boards. Conveniently.
The term safe space. I feel the I feel the unreasonable need to deny that person any politeness or consideration. Well, Randy, I know that the term is overused, yes. But he was asking more of a, do you think there should be a tutorial area? I believe that's what he was asking anyway. And I think there should be a tutorial area, or an area that is for starters, or encourages you to learn the game there. Huh. I think it's leaks like that and culling problems like that that reduces performance as well. Oh, it's got all the guns on. I'll be your Valentine ship. I love the fact I've got one of these because they seem to annoy people. They've got some reasonably powerful systems, stock systems, like, by default. I will probably fully gimbal mine, though, in the future, just so it can make use of auto gimbals. That means I don't actually have to learn. I don't actually have to be good at combat in the new flight model. I can just rely on my gimbals to pull me through. And I can at least look good even if I get wrecked. When I be implementing drinkable water in Lawville, the coffee machines work, don't they? You can drink your poos of the coffee machine. What do people drink if there's no bodies of water? Well, I mean, there's no seas that are visible. What am I doing? I can't fucking remember where the flight radio is. What was over here? Over. It is over there. I've flown ships before. Ooh. Let's request. I'm very poor at multitasking. I'm very good at focusing on a single task. Now, just pretend that I didn't press that button. Okay? This is... What? What? Power off. Engine off. Flight ready.
All systems online.
Have I... What have I done? What have I done? I pressed E, I think. I pressed one of my old keybinds. It's obviously done something that is not intended. At the moment, I can't seem to move. I may have broken the Hornet. Does anyone have any idea how I can fix this? So what's happened? Let us press Y and get out. You're too big for the cockpit. You broke it. Don't know what I've done. I pressed the button. I don't want to initiate self-destruct. No. Come on.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Come on, come on. Get on the ladder. We're going to fix this. Right. What have I done? So... No! I've tried you, I've tried R.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
Hmm. That didn't work either. I don't know what I was expecting. I'm gonna go get another ship. My legs are a little hurt now. Look, I like the fact that some of you respect the starting information that I put out and you see me as an authority figure of knowledge. However, several hours a day, I do things like this. Where I'm like, why are my legs broken? Did I just eject? Yeah. What was that button I pressed? Why did I do that? Unfortunately, I get very distracted very easily. Yeah, I'm fine. Look, broken legs. Feel good. The Hornet's bugged. Perfect. Feels like it's bugged. We've got this. Gonna go get another ship. Try not to eject this time. I thought it could have been a fix. They're not that broken though, are they? I can still run, sort of. They're not broken, they're just sort of like, you know when you've gone for a run and your legs are red. Like, oh, I couldn't. If anything hit my legs now, I'd bleed to death, sort of. Control Alt Delete. Alt F4. Alt F4 for wins. Let us grab the Gladius. The Gladius can't possibly. We can grab a horrible Reliant actually. Grab a miss. Horrible Reliant.
Be vigilant and report possible threats every time.
Your ship has been
Board mirrors the patch status looking pretty kind of derpy. I'm sorry. That's just my general look. I look a bit like a potato. Alt F4. Yeah, thanks. I'll try it later. Is it true that there are 6 new drug slabs? There are new places that you can purchase new items and drugs, and they sort of like separated ultratoxin, you know what I mean, from Widow, and where you sell it and buy it and stuff like that. You're going to have to wait until we have 3.5 live before there's definitive information about what exactly is going on. I've only found effectively 2 other places. Paradise Falls is one of them that I think is that they sell drugs from. But I haven't. Which would be 3 in total, including Jumptown. But I wouldn't. Broken. Same hanger though, isn't it? I still wouldn't. I think 6 is a lot. Like 6 seems too many. Oh, I've got a med pen on me. I just can't use it because I'm in a no shooty zone. It's no shooty and no healy. I'm looking forward to them getting rid of the thingamajig, the armistice zones. Oh, they get to pull guns out. By staying hydrated, I get more wins than Fortnite. No one here plays. Well, actually, some people might play Fortnite. I don't disparage people for playing Fortnite. Not a game that I actually quite enjoyed the PvE Fortnite before it got thingamajig Battle Royale. Obviously, Battle Royale was where it made 99% of its money.
and that game was dying until they did that, and they turned a dying game into one of the most successful games. I don't like it because it is a Twitch builder game, and I'm not great at multitasking. If I'm just aiming and shooting, thinking tactically, great, but it's a game where I have to build rapidly while running towards someone, while also bunny hopping, dodging, and... It's like, why can't I go? It's because I'm stuck in the door. But, oh, no! Going well. No, I still don't seem to like the Reliance that much. I just like to say, okay, I tapped space, and typically that's precision mode. It's a little tiny movement. There it went. Just flipped my ship. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Thank you, I'm incredible. I told you I find it hard to multitask. Unfortunately, I have 101 ships, so I can do a video on 101 ways to destroy a ship. I'm really bad at taking off, apparently. You fixed your legs. So positive. That is true. Legs are broken again. Am I going to bleed out before hitting the floor? I think that would be a mercy. We can see the traffic though. Oh, it's right. It was just a dream. Just a dream. Don't you worry. The buttons changes for me. I just forget what they are. And like, there's a good hour and a half probably of footage ruined when I'm doing B-roll or trying to do a full mission playthrough. Very often, when I just press the wrong button, like detonate my ship or just ram something, I'm like, huh, wrong button. Seeing it now unfold. ArcCorp. No, yeah. Well, we're getting out of this server. Right. We will try have a fly past of ArcCorp. It's fine. It's fine. This is why, one of the reasons that the PTU hasn't build 3.5.0K has not gone live yet. Not just because I'm shit, but also because you fall through the floors in some of the elevators. Oh, I've done the voice from Bandersnatch. More of it. That's quite an in-joke, actually. Yeah. And my ship, the Hornet did just turn off. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I haven't bound a key to... I don't know. But a parachute's going to be implemented in game. Well, we're not 100% sure it's going to be parachutes. And they have sort of like briefly said probably maybe parachutes, but it could be jump packs, it could be something else. Some way of surviving ejecting atmosphere is going to be in game. It's 4-0 to ArcCorp currently. But at the moment, I haven't disconnected with. Oh no, maybe I did earlier, but that was more probably just me going AFK. I can't really talk about the avocado stuff, but it wasn't particularly super buggy. So at the moment, I think it's too early to call what I like more, the 300i or the Titan. At the moment, probably the Avenger Titan still, just because it's so cheap. It's got solid gimbal options. How rare. I was going to say, this is actually quite annoying because it does the same audio loop really, really quite often when you're in the... Oh, let's get out of here. Dear Board CIG, I wish I was paid by CIG, but I'm not. I'm trying to buy the cologne, but it won't let me. Please pass my tickets along, thanks. No worries. Well, you can Phantom Killer, you can give me the money directly if you want, and I'll attempt to get your cologne to you directly. Although it could take several years, or more. Sounds like Nintendo. There's some pretty good sounds here. Like, ArcCorp looks amazing. Okay, it's got just enough going. I thought that was literally just a box with legs. It's got just enough going on with sounds and stuff. Needs a few more NPCs again. It used to have a load of NPCs, but they removed them for performance. So hopefully we'll see a few more at least for 3.5 Live. It's the same with the traffic as well. Power up with pips. For now, Star Citizen seems to be the best Star Sim we will get. But when the game comes out in 3+ years, do you think Star Citizen can stay relevant? I mean, it's sort of like playable now though, and it's getting built. So I mean, I think it can stay relevant and get quite a big following. I mean, it's going to be releasing Squadron 42 probably next year, episode 1 anyway, and then it's still going to be releasing major patches every 3 months with the persistent universe. I think it's got a great model. Certainly not the fastest model. Yeah.
Box is precious.
He knows I want his box now. That's not a euphemism.
Trash goes in the bin. We all win.
Can't even get from Area 18 to Port Olisar without a server disconnection. Or crash to test start. That's so frustrating. That is frustrating. I'm not having disconnection problems. I'm bad at game problems.
Tram now approaching.
Yeah, it's like, I can see Cowboy Bebop and Altered Carbon and Blade Runner all in here. It's sort of like a less cluttered Altered Carbon. There's a little bit going on, but not sort of like so much your brain implodes.
With convenient connection trams across all major commercial areas of ArcCorp, city lights
I think the server's dying. Server's alright, isn't it?
now leaving the station. Stand clear of the doors. Stand clear. Doors are now closing.
Bye, guys. Bye. Savor the squish. Gelbies. Very odd. Oh. Reflections are weird. I wish that the reflections weren't so reflecty. You think there will be pole dancing game? I think they will try and minimize sectionalization, because then they can actually have it go to more countries and have a lower age rating. Low level of detail ships, the lower level of detail light boxes. Those are supposed to be cars rather than ships, the little tiny ones, I believe. I'm not having many problems with the actual server crashing, just me being shit. How much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know. Every 18? 42? Like the petition, what? 100,000 cubic meters of wood. Or meter of wood. Alright, this time we're gonna exit this motherfucking landing zone We're gonna have a little fly around. Bob Mitch, you just atted yourself. Like, they might be suggestive of things, but I doubt they're going to have in-game represented and overly sexualized things. Just my opinion. Other than if it's Drake. Well, maybe they will. I don't fucking know, do I? I don't make those decisions. I just assumed. It's one of the reasons they don't have children in the game, for example. Given CR's recent statement on ending server wipes, there, other than gains from exploits, how long until this is implemented? So we need full persistence, object containment and streaming, potentially more or starts of server meshing before that's even looked at. So the earliest you'd get that would probably be end of next year. In my opinion, anyway. Which is what you asked for. Color claim. Pay for the expedite fee. We'll get the 300i out. On the maze mission, how does the crate look that I'm supposed to find? So it looks like bark in, like chipped bark in a bag. So it looks like bits of bark. There's also a bag that's got like lots of red pills in, which can look a little bit like it, but these are more brown. This is obviously something that looks like it's been put through a wood chipper. You'll find it pretty easy. Do you think Crusader will be next on the next roadmap for 2020? Yes. I mean, they're trying to get Horizon in 2019, but it's more likely it's going to be in 2020. By many factors. Thank you very much, Hanneth. How's it gone? I put 25 bits on you not making it out of your hangar in one piece this game. Thanks. What are my frames like? What are my specs? Bear with me 1 second. I am going to buy so many spaceships.
Been following your YouTube for a couple years. I live here in Austin and I'm glad you do what you do. Thanks.
I'm not really sure what I do though when I'm actually playing. So my frames here are 60, 58 to 60. Is pretty good compared to, let's go up to 65. What was the other question? What are my specs? I've got an 8700K i7, which is last generation, so like top end of last generation from the consumer enthusiasts CPUs. I've got 64 gigs of RAM, but that's more because I need it for video processing. And I've got a 1080 Ti gigabyte one, which has done me very well. And I run Star Citizen on a very high spec M2 drive, but not the Optane drive anymore. The Optane drive has moved into my server system for some reasons, which I'll talk about when I actually use it, and it works, if it works.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
Personal belongings are your personal responsibility. Monitor your luggage at all times.
But thank you very much, Guy Little Dance. Thank you very much for the monies and for the donation. Hangar 6 again. I thank you. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate your kind message. I'm looking forward to being able to buy like this Chos, especially if they change it every month. Like, make little tiny edited flare items every month, if they can, if it's easy to do. I'll start collecting them. I'll collect stuff in game. It'd be madness. Why do some people have hangers in the PTU and others don't? How do I get them? What do you mean? Have hangers? Right, we'll just plow through. We'll just. Fine. Now, I'm in PTU. Any hints on how to get to ArcCorp? I can't seem to quantum at all. As in, you can't even press B to spool up your drive, press F1 and go into the star map and actually click on ArcCorp. If you're zooming in at a weird angle, then double right click to zoom out, click set destination, and then press B, and then hold B once you've spooled up your drive in, while pointing at ArcCorp. What can't you do? Any of it? If you can't do any of it, get out of your ship and get back in, or turn your ship on and off again. About a billion different fixes. Let's try and leave the hangar this time. I think we've got a high chance for success. Although, that said, I think we've had a 0%, win rate against ArcCorp at the moment. They're at 18. Right, so, F1. Comlink. Contacts. I mean, obviously this is all put on. I do this so that you guys feel smarter. You're like, oh, board's so silly. What it is. I was ejected again. It's flight ready. Okay, we got this. We got this. Don't you worry. Don't you. There we go. Perfect. Boom. Done. I can't say first time, can I? Because I'm actually on stream. And it's not like a video I can edit out my stupidity. Right, let's get a good angle. No. See, ArcCorp hasn't won this time. This is me. No, I'm not going to eject. Maybe I will in a minute. It's when I sort of like chill out, have a bit of a fly around. You can see the frame rates are getting 50 frames at the moment. I'm just sort of like high up. Goes to a minimum of about 45. When I'm in sort of like the most intensive area in the game. What I believe is the most intensive area now anyway. Which is pretty good. So some of these buildings I can actually land on, which is pretty cool. And they are sort of like meant for missions things. So you'll see... maybe not these ones. Those ones over there are there, I think? That looks like a landable one. Yeah, so I had to put my landing gear away and put it back on. So we could land on any of these buildings as well. Oh, I've gone down to fuck all frames. Did not like. Put the landing gear away again. Oh. So my frame rate went down to about 25 from about 50 when it marked the landing pads. That's weird. Huh. I don't actually know why that is. Hello, hello. How weird. No, I very much... So, okay, so on the 300i and the Avenger... The 300i looks amazing now. It looks beautiful. I love it. The Avenger Titan is cheap and still super effective. Doesn't look as good as the 300i in my opinion. But the Avenger, yeah, the Avenger Titan. And I'm holding off on my opinions on this fully until we have the customization of the new 300 series and its variants from the RSI website. Because there might be some cool new stuff. They might, the ship might be really, really, really cool. And I'll be like, oh yeah, it's definitely the 300 series over the Titan. However, I do think that for a lot of people, the 300 series will be a step up from the Titan. But I'm talking about sort of like value for. I wish I could have got some of the Chris Waltz cologne. I wish it was not a. I wish it wasn't an April Fool's. I'd buy that shit. I assume it smells like Jean Paul Gaultier. Yeah, we can talk about where. Oh no. Where we think server meshing is going to fall on the map. I think it's going to be middle of next year. Sort of first implementations of it. It's going to need loads of work beyond its first implementation, and that will probably just be static server handovers. And it might be a bit later than that even. But they need full persistence. They need server-side object container streaming, and then they're going to want to start building their dynamic servers in. I don't think that's overly optimistic. Maybe it is. Bought the $27,000 set, and now I smell like a whale. It is made of ambergris. Yeah, I love the look of the 300 series. I think it looks fucking beautiful. Or the 300i anyway. And that. ArcCorp is so good. And it's only going to get better. Like, they're going to keep on improving these assets. They're going to improve this procedural generation. The early ArcCorp we saw at CitizenCon, obviously, this ArcCorp does not look as good from space currently. But with the procedural generation, once they get that all down, it will at least be real and physicalized. The one they did before was effectively faked. Well, it was a texture that went up. This area does have sort of like hab areas, well, more civilian-y type areas and industrial areas. I'm going to fly for a bit and have a look around. You think server meshing will be in before the expanding physics grids of the Hull C? No. Hull C is planned for 3.8. I think we could see potentially full persistence and server-side object container streaming before then, or parts of it. The 300i smells of success, 300 million, and a slight hint at disappointed fatherhood. What? Will items we buy in Squadron 42 copy across into our normal game? You won't be buying items in Squadron 42. It's a more narrative, story-driven campaign. You're in the military there. You may... so you will be unlocking things, and progress will carry across into the persistent universe, though. So you're once you get to a certain part in Squadron 42, you'll have access to buy potentially the military, the civilian version of the F-8C. So it's the civilian Lightning heavy fighter.
Oh, beautiful.
And there'll be other military gear and other stuff that you'll get access to once you get to that stage in Squadron 42. But in this persistent universe, you get access to it. You see what I mean? Is there anywhere on the planet that isn't covered by buildings? Nope. Pretty much covered. As far as I'm aware. No, the 100 series, 100 series is probably a little further out. Again, potentially middle to late of next year. They might try and get it in earlier. Because it's a starter ship. Yeah, I can't wait for Vulcan support. Vulcan should really start to get some improvements in there. And then they can start having a lot more draw calls and a lot more sort of like... They don't have to make concessions for things for performance. Or as much, anyway. No, you can land on other points of the planet. If I got my landing gear, you can land on a load of different buildings. Oh, not those ones, though. Oh. There's Area 18 over there. There's other areas as well. So there's Area 6. And there's Area 4. Now, they don't have landing zones in the same vein as Area 18, but they do have buildings there that you can sort of land on. Now, let me put my landing gear back up, because my frame rate is 20 when my landing gear is down.
Landing gear
When it goes up, it goes all the way back up to 50. How fucking peculiar. Let's speed across a little bit further over here. Cruise control. Where is my Polaris? Lol. Yeah, I think we'll see the Polaris next year. Will you be going VR once the Vulcan's implemented? I won't be playing all the time in VR. I've got an Oculus, but I'll be grabbing the new Vive, the new Valve headset, the Index. Almost certainly. High def landing gear, indeed. Am I going to have Philbert the Turtle? I think it's a tortoise in this. Be interesting to see if they do get moving creatures at some point. Resubbing for the sexy bald star citizens. Appreciate Moo Masher. Thank you. Love you, Coffee Hole, and I love you, Phantom Killer. Just want you to know that. Have $10 from beneath the middle of the Hudson. Thank you very much, Jondra. Okay, so these are interesting areas, actually. Now let's turn off cruise control. So these are basically trenches. Go deep, deep down. Obviously, we can't get particularly close to them because there's the no-fly zone. There's loads of buildings we can land on. We can land on these buildings, these tall ones over here. We have proper landing pads. Cycle our frame rates again when we go near them. See if they can actually land on them. Let's find a particularly tall one we can land on. And on this one. Yeah, we can. Let's hope my landing gear is down. Probably is, right? The toilet. So there are missions on ArcCorp. There's Witch's mission, which basically she gets you to go to a building on ArcCorp to get a ship, and then using that ship, so you get a Cutlass Black, you fly to Lyria and search a drug's den for a particular drug. But there will be buildings opening up for missions and stuff potentially in the very near future. Some pretty spectacular views down the stairs. Actually, might be able to get a better look-see. Some of the buildings have got quite a little area you can look around in. You can imagine those being opened up. Around to the other side, it's just more of this. I think the view's pretty impressive. Pretty cool stuff going on. If you have 2 ships, 1 bounty hunter, 1 cargo, will the careers clash with wanted level? Great channel. What do you mean? Clash with wanted level? I mean, your wanted level will stay with you. When people scan you, it's the idea, when you get scanned, they know if you're a criminal or not. Ship itself might also hold a criminal rate on. When it gets scanned, it's a stolen ship, so they'll chase it. Things like that. In the future, anyway. Is it possible to get a fast quantum jump using orbital mechanics? Your advantage? No. Not at the moment. No slingshottiness, no things like that. It's just quantum drives ramp up to 0.2 speed of light, I believe. They've got different acceleration and spooling times and that sort of stuff. And times it takes for them to spool down. But we might see slums and sort of like Necromunda type areas. Do we think this ledge is solid? Actually, it doesn't matter. Look over here. Yeah, that's better. That is intended. Yes, no. Thank you very much, ArcCorp, for the bits. Very much appreciated. But yeah. I'm very happy with 3.5 now. Because I can see a lot of potential for 3.5.x patches. The live build could even have more mission content than I'm expecting. If they tweak some of the other missions, that would be absolutely fantastic. The Twitch Protector mission is really sort of like combines Payday 2 style missions with a little bit of PvP, and yeah, it just goes like, well, actually, some of these missions can be quite fun, even if they're procedurally generated. And if they keep on adding more and more and more to them, then it's going to be quite interesting missions. I'm getting 70 plus frames at the moment. Pretty cool. I have not read that quantum post from Chris Roberts yet, so I will look at it tomorrow and I'll do a video on it tomorrow. Does anyone have any idea what's happening after 4.0? Don't worry so much about the naming conventions of the patches. They're just going to release a big patch every 3 months. I don't know if the Stalker... No, the Stalker can't carry cargo yet. Beta will just be when they say, right, we've got some systems in and most of the core gameplay, all the core gameplay mechanics and some of the other gameplay mechanics in, and there's no more resets. That's when I would deem beta. But it will sort of like be a bit fuzzy, and people's interpretations of that. They basically plan to indefinitely release every 3 months a major patch at the moment, and that might change in the future. But let us go to Lyria. Much quicker to get out of atmosphere as well now. I think, as I said a few times in the stream now, and people seem to be asking a lot, when it comes to the Avenger Titan and the 300i, wait until we see what the upgrade and customization options are going to be with the 300 series. There is going to be a 3.5.x patch in the very near future, which will have the variants of the 300 series, and they're sort of like going to have some sort of customization options from the website as well. So wait until then, and keep your Avenger Titan until then. Eventually, we might be able to strip out the prisoner pods and that sort of stuff
out of the Cutlass Blue and the Stalker. But you can sort of like bring boxes aboard, hand boxes, and place them in there at the moment. Sort of like works-ish. We should actually be out of atmosphere. Out. That area? It is. There a little dot in the center of my screen there? I think it is. Oh. Well, this is a new effect. This might be one of the reasons that it hasn't gone to a live build. The green screen. The other thing is that this the procedural generation like block bug. It's sort of like, well, level. It's not loading in the chunks of the planet. It's loading in the really low level detail one. But I sort of like need to move a bit closer before it loads in the rest of the chunks. For higher levels of detail. Let's fly to... Well, it's not too far away. It doesn't have me flying through the fucking planet and exploding. In the light. I'd like it to be in the light. That's probably perfect. Still at the moment, when you quantum drive around planets, you go upside down. I think you're probably coming out of quantum just a little bit too far from the planet, maybe, at the moment. It's like on the cusp of it generating. Oh, you want me to open the... That's the cargo bay is underneath now in the 300i. You could open that up, put cargo in there, and then close it up again. Pretty cool, eh? Oh. Oh. Press that again. You see, like, when we come out of quantum now, we are so close about service compared to what we used to be. And around here. Perfect landing. Perfect. Great success! Just pretend we did that for the first one, yeah? Okay, we don't need to turn anything off. You're gonna pull me back to the... No, it's not. Good. Valyria is going to have snow at some point, probably. You can sort of, like, see a really terrible snow effect. I actually think that's the stars. Occasionally be able to see this, like, little snowy effect. And the thing that looked like water... Oh! That will kill me eventually, so we won't fuck around too much in it. Oh wow! What is these effects? what are those effects? Me kicking up. Perfect. But that looks cool. The smoke effects are good. Not the. Am I leaving footprints? on that because it's rock. What about here? Wow. Huh. Oh, is it liquid methane? Oh no. Have I gone plaid? Yeah, I love 3.5. I think 3.5 has added so much. A lot of its prettiness. I'm hoping they tweak all the missions to work fully and have a little bit more to them, because the Twitch Pacheco mission is really quite cool. As are the personal missions as well, to be honest. Right, I am going to have to go in a second. I want to go check on my dad, and I'm going to have a little snack before I get back to work. But if people want to give me any feedback in the comments below with what they'd like to see, both on future streams, but also in content in general. 3.5, I'm going to do a quick start guide. I'm going to look at all the missions. I'm going to look at all the new mechanics. I'm going to look at meta for weapons. I'm going to look at where the new hidey things are, trade locations of the new sort of like drug labs, all that sort of stuff. But any ideas for content, any things that you want me to look at before another thing, I sort of like will do it by the wisdom of the crowds. Thank you so much. 55. If one day I'm bored, I want to be bored like you. Thank you very much. The bits, very much appreciated. I do appreciate the ridiculous amount of money that people were throwing at me, and the stupid amount of viewers I had for sort of like just fucking around. I mean, I wasn't really doing anything. I just wanted to chat because I was bored. And I had plan a stream. I think one day very soon, we'll actually do some gameplay on streams. That's more than just me sort of like walking around going, "Oh, what's this? Why are my feet broken? Why have I crashed 3 times into this wall?" I didn't crash out of the game. I crashed in through the landing pads. Yeah, so there's Star Citizen for me. If they can get the mechanics for some of the economy stuff working really well, and the combat working in an interesting way that's fun for PvP and PvE, then I'll be pretty happy. Like, as long as there's a few of the economy and industrial mechanics that I really like, I'm really looking forward to outpost building and managing a base. I'm looking forward to mining ops and loads of different things like that. Loads of economy-based things and industrial-based things. Yeah. But it needs to have the combat there, and it needs to have a thriving PvP and PvE sort of like economy, and different systems are going to have different risk and reward based on that. And yeah, some of the systems should be pretty much almost entirely PvE, like some of the safer UEE ones. And if you try and engage in PvP and you're not doing it like superbly well and very cleverly, then the UEE Navy just comes and stomps on your parade. Thank you very much. Yes, and my dad has been a little tiny bit worse than he has previously today with chemo. Sort of like he's got a headache and tired and stuff like that. But previous to it, he'd been pretty much without effect other than being a bit tireder, which is good. But it's not too bad at the moment. Hopefully he'll maintain his not too bad status tomorrow. It's only 3 months of chemo he's got to go through, so it's not the hugest amount, but and hopefully it will help. Don't want that cancer coming back. But yeah. I love you guys. Thank you so much for 4 cutlasses crashed into 3 freaks and an Avenger in Lawville. Okay, yeah, sorry, eh? Okay. I do like the random things that happen in Star Citizen. I'm looking forward to dynamic weather as well. Like, Lyria works with the fog, but we don't want fog everywhere. We don't want lighting, weird lighting everywhere. Oh, the popping of assets is annoying. Why are these assets only appearing when I'm further away? Like, oh, the higher quality asset is... but yes, obviously, some of these things need to be fixed. But yes. Love you guys. Let's go and see who else is streaming, because I
pass the love on to, you know, someone that's going to love you and hold you, kiss you, whisper tenderly into your ear. We'll give Maya some love. Bam, bam. Gonna go host Maya, give him some love. Thanks so much for watching. You take care, guys. I'll see you with some more videos tomorrow, potentially later tonight if I can't sleep. But thank you so much for the ridiculous amount of money and love and donations and Patreons and all that sort of jazz. And Stuff M3 giving a load of subs away. Doom Squirrel giving me chucking $100, and Summy Yeti also chucking $100. Uber Nerd, massive fucking raid, 105 people. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much. Yeah. And you get mentions because you gave me money. Lots of money. Thank you so much. You take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Boom.